Hello there, folks. I have so much on my mind, and I want to share some of this with you because it's time that people start asking themselves some serious questions. And there's a few things that I do want to discuss. Is I saw a title of the book called "You Will Never See Me Again," and I'm thinking of who is the most important person in your life, and would they ever say that to you, or would you ever say that to them? And your natural response is no, that will never happen. And there's no such thing as never happen. This is a sobering thought. I had a question that I asked one of my friends recently about what would happen if your partner had to tell you to go, and you are living on her property, and she told you, that's it, it's time, I've had enough. And at what point are you going to change? What point are you going to be aware that nothing is 100% all the time? And sometimes we're pushing our luck a little bit too far. We're pushing ourselves too far. We're pushing limits too far. And things don't necessarily always work out the way we expect them to work out, because that's an expectation sometimes that is unrealistic expectations. Now, part of this program that myself and my wife created was a program that we could help people change their life, change their health, change the way they view things, the view life changes. A lot of this is we don't face the truth. We don't face the truth enough. And because we don't face it enough, we allow things to escalate the wrong way. We would all like things to escalate the right way. We would like things to go forward financially for us, physically, emotionally, health-wise. And some of us, yes, we are extremists. Maybe we are, we overdoing something, and that might also be detrimental to our health or our families. And how long are you going to still be around with your family? Now, maybe your spouse or your partner is not in a position to tell you to go, to tell you that they've had enough. But maybe they are inside of them are pining away. Maybe they are crying inside for you to make those changes. Now, for those of you who are on the program, you've already seen and experienced changes. I'm saying that part of this program, and we're going to do it in 4 stages. So most of you are only aware that there's one stage where there's 12 different things that you're going to need to do some cuts on, some cuts, cut and paste, cut and delete out of your life. But there are other aspects that are coming in phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, which you will be facing up to. We don't always face up to things because we are drugging ourselves. When we feel tired, we give ourselves a pill. When we feel our energy is low, we have some coffee. When we're stressed out, we have some wine. When we, then we. When we, then we. When we, then we. So what we're doing is we're drugging ourselves all the time. And that is a sad situation to be in, is to not face the truth, face the reality. And every one of us have decisions to make every single day. Today, my wife and I had a serious chat, And then I realized when the chat was over that there were some aspects that I was kind of shifting the blame onto her, but it was on me because I'm the man in the house and I need to take responsibility. I need to take steps so that it can work together like a machine. And your partner is probably possibly working to the extent that they can to help your situation, whether it's financially, whether it's health-wise, whether it's emotionally. We are all trying. But the question that I had yesterday was, we walked through town past certain homes, certain plots of land, and there was one piece of land that stood out to me, and it was a piece of land that has been neglected. And the thought came to me is, for one moment, I do not think that this person that lives on this piece of land did not have 5 minutes a day to go and do some work on the land. And what does our land look like? What does our property look like? What does our lives look like? How do we face those situations where, well, maybe I need to do some editing. There's dust that collects all the time, every single day. Living in a small town where there is dust. It's not like the cities. Cities, you have smog. In the towns, small towns, you've got dust. Letting it go and backwards, let stuff accumulate. Whereas a good farmer is busy planting new seeds and is in getting crops from those seeds, having chickens and having more chickens, having cattle, having manure coming from the cattle that you can work into your plants. All of that is how are we working that piece of land, our bodies? Is that piece of land that we've been given? Are we, well, let's go to the biblical thing. I'm not a prosperity preacher, but there's a few, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, where men are given responsibilities to multiply what they've been loaned. All of us have been loaned this piece of land to farm with. How are we farming that? And I have to ask myself the question, how good am I farming? I'm doing a pretty shitty job sometimes because I am not spending the time on profitable trades, profitable movement of something to multiply to something else. So sometimes you buy something with the intention of reselling it, but then once you've bought it, you just put it away. Well, that is not multiplication. Multiplication is how quickly can you move this from A to B? How quickly can you add value to this item? And that is one of the things that is biblically very important for us, that we add value to what we've been given. Or you bought it at such a price that when you've added a profit, that other people still want to buy it. Other people still think that's a good price, a good quality and good price to buy it at. And how can we keep on with that multiplication process that others keep wanting to do business with us? How do we do business? Are we on time when we're going to people to their appointments? We had a very important appointment this afternoon. I went to see a hairdresser yesterday. She cut my hair. She didn't do too bad at all. I mean, a man or a woman wants to look good to themselves, and they give the job of their face to someone else to make their face look good and young and everything. And while I was sitting there listening to her, she was telling me how that on her, in her salon, there are spaces for products. And she's helping a guy sell his books. And she's almost sold all his books. That guy hasn't sold any books, hardly sold any books of his own. But now he's got someone else selling the books on his behalf. So whenever we are doing business with people, we need to listen to them, listen to what they're saying, listen to the questions they're asking us. Maybe there are people that, or products or services that we can add value to, and you can make money and someone else can make money out of that product or service. So sitting and listening to this lady, we had the opportunity where we could give her an X amount of products that she can put on her shelf, and we've given her prices. We would be selling those products at the prices we gave her, but we will give her returns on everything that she sells. And that makes it exciting, because you don't want to, the idea of multiplication, the idea of us moving forward, we're going now finances way, is that how can you not need to work for money for the rest of your life? How do you if you're getting to a pension age, or you're getting to an age where you can't move as much anymore, how can you still have money coming in based on the contacts that you've made, the good products that you got, the good services that you got, other people running your business for you? Anyway, this whole session started with your partner and your relationship. How is your and your partner's relationship? Are you on such a good level that you can talk about everything that you can? Sometimes my wife and I, we have these arguments, and if somebody's listening, some people actually walk away when they listen to us, because the argument gets serious. People feel like this couple is really, but it's good that you can get the information out, sharing information. What is happening in your life? What is happening in my life? How can we talk about this, that we can both feel like we need to take responsibility and move forward? Because after all, when you're in a marriage, or it's a partnership, and that's a partnership, it doesn't matter how you look at it, it's money gets transferred, money gets changes hands. And how is one partner not bringing the side to the story, or don't they understand what is required of them? So how can we make the money more? How can we multiply what we've been given? So those of you living in the cities, it's hard to tell you to go and get chickens, because the neighbors might not like the sound of the chickens in the yard, and you might be planting flowers instead of vegetables. So you need to go to the shops to buy your vegetables, and you're possibly eating genetically modified vegetables, poison-laden vegetables. That's why I'm very careful in my support on all farmers. I don't support all farmers, because all farmers are not giving us good vegetables. They are poisoning the land so that they have a good crop. So it's time for us to either find safer food to eat than this poisonous stuff that we've been poisoned with all the time. Anyway, this went on a little longer than what I wanted it to go on, but I thought we need to get this message across. Very important message is, what if my partner had to say to me? Would you say that to your partner at any stage? Would you think that this is a lifelong commitment that you've got with your partner? Is this a profitable situation? it doesn't need to be financially profitable, but it needs to be profitable in ways and means that you feel like you are going somewhere with your partner, and of course with your health, because now the last thing we want to talk about is your health in such a position that you are following this program. If you're not following this program, find out how to follow this program, because it's how to love yourself again. If you are overdosing yourself on caffeine and alcohol and dairy and bread, you need to get with the program. You need to start living life again, so that in 10 to 12 weeks from now, you can feel like things are happening for you. And I just said to people today, this is my 5th week. My 5th week is last week was GMO foods, and this week is sugar. In my 5th week, I feel I'm still detoxing from the dairy products I stopped 4 weeks ago. Still detoxing from dairy products after 4 weeks. Your body is producing mucus from all this dairy that you've been taking. There's no good. There's a little good, but there's a lot of bad in it because of all the mucus and the fat and the hormones and the pus and the blood that you're getting, and you don't even realize that. Oh, well, it's white when you see it. It's colored to yellow when you see it, but you don't know what's in there that's doing you more harm than good. So one positive thing is make a decision today, make a decision now to make that body of yours, mind of yours, and everything you are dedicated, first of all, to yourself and then to your family. And of course, you're doing it for yourself, and you're doing it for and with your Creator's help. See you in the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.